Welcome to the world according to Kevin. Normally you're used to seeing me standing up behind in front of a green screen doing a rant. Well, we're refining the process a little. This particular program is about talking about current events that have gone on for the last week. I'll be coming to you once a week on Tuesdays with my perceptions of the previous week about some topics of interest to me that I hope are of interest to you as well. And leading off, what I wanted to talk about tonight was Susan B. Komen for the Cure's decision to cut off Planned Parenthood's funding last week. The one thing I will say in their defense is you would not recognize so much about breast cancer treatment if it wasn't for this particular group of people and their pink ribbons. Yes, they're the ones responsible for that, so I do give kudos for the good that they have done. But to bow to political pressure to cut off Planned Parenthood because of their abortion stance, to me, was criminal. And fortunately, you out there in the audience made a difference. The backlash was so severe on that they couldn't turn around fast enough to refund that Planned Parenthood. So kudos to you out there for making a difference to the woman out there who would have suffered without that money to Planned Parenthood. It's once again, we gotta maintain our vigilance when it comes to our civil rights and our civil freedoms to keep these nut jobs from coming in. Keep in mind, these are the same nut jobs that basically think it's okay to kill abortion doctors in the name of their God. So, you know, once again, this is a good thing that's happened out of all of that. And another thing I wanted to talk about tonight was what was going on in the Middle East, particularly Syria and Egypt. Everybody's been talking about the Arab Spring like this was going to be a brand new awakening of freedom in the Middle East. Well, what it's turned into is a fight between the religious fanatics and fundamentalists in these countries. Egypt right now is in the throes. I'm sure you read about the riots at the soccer match that killed 79 people at Port of Said. Well, the follow-up demonstrations, another 12 people have been killed by the Egyptian military trying to keep the peace. Now, keep in mind, the people that are running Egypt at this point are Mubarak's generals. So nothing's really changed in Israel, and I guarantee you that if these generals relinquish power, that you're going to have the same problems in Egypt that you're having in Syria, Iraq, and Iran. Well, not Iran, they've got that under control, but then again, they're trying to develop a nuclear weapon. So my point on this is that everybody's excited about these changes going on in the Middle East, but I'm going to tell you that it's going to ferment so much religious discord. You're going to have the Shias fighting against the Kurds, against the Shiites, and this is going to bring out tribal warfare throughout the region because they don't know, the borders don't matter to these religions. So because of our extreme need for the one resource they do have to offer, which is oil, so the interconnectivity to your life, I guarantee you over the next 10 years, we're going to have some oil disruptions because of the turmoil going on in the Middle East. And wait till Israel drops the ball. Do you think they're going to let Iran go nuclear? Not in this lifetime, they're not. As a matter of fact, either the CIA or the Egyptian intelligence services killed one of the leading physicists in Iran a couple of weeks back. You might have read about that. The other thing I wanted to talk about tonight, and what I'll be talking about till the elections in November, is the fraud and the fact that I don't see any of you out there with a candidate that you got anything that you could attach yourself to. I've been saying for the last 6 months that it was going to be Romney and Obama in the November elections, and so far, guess what? That's what you got. Now, do you see either one of these people addressing your needs? Do you see any of these people with a vision for the future? I sure don't. Why are we voting these clowns in every 4 years? Why don't we finally get up off our collective asses and try to find somebody that speaks to our needs and speaks to our future? Because none of these people are speaking to a future that means anything to me. How about you? So, why don't you give me a call? Now that I'm not on YouTube anymore, I can actually answer your comments. We can actually get you live streaming in my studio, and we can start having a dialogue that we can share with the rest of the internet. So that's what I'm trying to do. You need to contact me and let me know where you think you agree with me and give me valid reasons why you don't. This is not going to be a shouting match a la CNN, MSNBC, or Fox News. This is going to be dialogue, and it's going to be intelligent. So if all you want to do is rip what I have to say when I go up against saying that anti-abortionists that want to kill doctors is a bad thing, you better come at me more than the Bible with that, because that's not going to get my attention. You better come up with some really valid reasons to argue your perspective, because otherwise it's worthless to me and it's going to be worthless to my audience. I want people that understand that as individuals we can't do anything, but when we come together and dialogue, we might be able to make a difference, which is where Occupy Wall Street fell apart. I was ranting about that. I told you it wouldn't work. They had no point of view outside of trying to attack one institution. Well, I want to go after the government. I want to bring us into a new age where we actually bring people into the government that care about social situations and leading us to a bright future that does not involve an exploding population, does not involve trillion-dollar deficits, that basically will take care of where we need to go over the next 100 years. If that sounds good to you, give me a call. Get on crystalvision.com with a Z, and we can begin the discussion, because this is extremely important to your generation. If you guys don't get off your ass now, you got absolutely no room to complain 10 years from now when you're working a $5 an hour job trying to figure out how to support 2 people. Thank you.